All right, this is what we've got going on here now. There are 1, 2, 3 ramps boards in use right now, including the one in the box, and there are 4 Arduinos being used because I just was really not too sure where the troubles would be to get this whole thing working. And you can see over here even the electronics package is completely undone. And I'm still using for the inductive sensor the mounting that I had before for the X carriage, and it's all just fine for that part. The wiring is still hobbled together, just using some quick zip clips here. But the voltages for the signal output from the inductive sensor is a steady 3.5 volts, only not triggered. When it's triggered, the voltage drops to 0. The pronter face program that I'm using here is connected, and behind it I have the code for the Arduino 2560. Everything for us is mostly inside of the configuration.h file, but there is now an error being thrown for our full LCD. You can see the screen is blank right here. So I've just not included that in the compilation this time through. Also, the way the system is homing is not finished, but this is what we do have. So I'll just go and I'll toggle X back and forward a bit for you. Very smooth, very quiet. I can home X. So here's the X home button right here. Just like at school, you can see it's functioning there. The display is a little different, but here's home X. Very fast, very smooth. Do you like the sound? I'm just using standard travel speeds. I didn't even look to see where those set up. Max is set at 190 just so I don't have any issues. Y as well is set at maximum 190, down from 200 or 205, but you can see there's probably 30 centimeters to go there. It would be off the plate though. The maximum plate size is 200. And if I do a full home, right here, everything happens really fast. So we'll be okay as long as this wire doesn't pull off the negative lead there. That's running the inductive sensor. There we go. It's homed. Z is set up. The gap has not been set yet. But that's unbelievable that the whole thing is working. And as it turns out, all of this hardware that I thought that I had fried out or cooked out or smoked out, I was really wondering because of the voltages that were being changed here. They're all fine. As a matter of fact, I'm using the Arduino underneath here. You can't see it there because it's in shadow from the big red ramps board. I'm using the first one that I thought that I had already canned. I haven't shorted out the power reduction here, so typically there would be 12 volts coming through the signal line, and I'm just reducing that down to the 3.5 or 3.6 so it doesn't cook out the ramps board here. The display now is what I need to set up. It really has no bearing on the operation though, so that is just not a really big concern, but I'll work on it a little bit. Now, what was going on was this. So over here we have inside of the Arduino sketchbook, Marlin 1.0.x gem 2. This is the code we're using. This Prussia i3 gem is dead on arrival. That was also a very, very recent Marlin I just downloaded half a week ago. This rework is one I downloaded just a half week before that. None of these two work. As it turns out, there's just errors in the basic coding. So I went back and I grabbed off of GitHub an older stable, and everything's just working. So now I just need to bundle all this back up into its box with the power supply screwed in snugger and the lid on top and the fan installed, and we're just off to the races now to do some final tuning and hot and height adjustment, and maybe run some test prints. Oh, and of course all of this mess of temporary wiring and resistors has to get sorted out into a nicely soldered up, shrink wrapped little package. So there we go. Success finally in the end.